And good evening, Savannah and the Coastal Empire. Welcome to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. I'm back in the saddle again. I had to take last week off, had a couple of family things to do. Family thing? Yeah, my daughter got engaged, so I had to go to the engagement. She was surprised. Gotta love it. But I'm back here in the man cave of Coach's Corner on the Soundgarden stage. Out here in front, got a couple of people listen, but this is what it's all about. There's that ambience, there's that environment that when you come here, remember, it's all food, all sports, all fun, all music since 1991. I promise you I'm not going to sing for you. I'm just going to give you some local sports stories, some sports news, and that's what it's all about. So I appreciate it whether you listen for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And remember, it's all part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network. We have two shows now. Of course, it's the Karl DeMasi Sports Report Wednesday night about 7 o'clock. Before that, we have our NASCAR show, Rubbin' and Grubbin' with the Atlanta man, Brandon Bain, and, of course, the man himself, the OG of Coach's Corner Sports Network, Lawrence Bennett, the producer. So it's great to be here. This week, got a great show lined up. I do apologize to Cam Turner. I do apologize to David McGrath with the FCA lacrosse all-star game and the Coastal Empire soccer senior all-star game. Just didn't do a lot of publicity about it because, like I said, my daughter's getting married. She's getting engaged. So, family comes first. Blood's thicker than water from what I understand. But even though blood's made out of water, I don't know. We'll figure that out later on. But it's great to be here. And I got to say this quickly. I got a chance to go to Cooperstown, New York. I got a chance for the first time in my life to go to the MLB, Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, and I was in heaven. I mean, we spent 2 days in Cooperstown. The first day just walking around the town, checking out all the stores, Doubleday Field, and then, you know what? The next day was glory. Going into that Hall of Fame and seeing all those displays, and even the Savannah Bananas had their own display there. It was just something special. And then walking around, checking out the plaques of all the Hall of Fame baseball players. You know what? Just great. And I met a Hall of Famer in one of the stores on Thursday afternoon. I go into this lady's boutique, and lady says, "Hey, Raleigh, does this look good? It's a green dress." I said, "Raleigh." I look over my shoulder. Handlebar mustache, a little older than the old coach, but it's Raleigh fingers. So I said to Raleigh, I said, "You know what? I don't think Charlie would like that dress on you." He says, "You know what? You're right." So we just got to talking. It was great. It was Hank Aaron dedication of the Hank Aaron statue that Thursday night. Couldn't get in. It was a private party. And then they had the Negro League All-Star game, the East against the West. And from what I understand, they had CC Sabathia. They had Ken Griffey Jr. They were going to play the Negro League against the White League. I don't know what it was, but it was supposed to be something special. That was sold out on Saturday, but I didn't get a chance to go to that because I had to see my daughter get engaged. So anyway, great show tonight. We'll be talking baseball. Baseball's been very, very good to me in Cuba. Not Cuba, Cuba. He'll tell you that. He's been there. He's done that. He was the Savannah Sandgnats chaplain, big into the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I can't believe it's over 8 years he started this all-star game. And we'll talk to the coordinator, the man himself. He's still got a rubber arm from what I understand, Jason Rockwell. He'll be on about 10 minutes. And then, of course, we'll come back at 7:30, state track championship. That's right. This young man won the Class 5A 100-meter run in 10.6 seconds. Pretty quick. He gets that a little lower. Could wind up some scholarship there to some college, but he's also a heck of a football player for Jenkins. I had to put the name together because when he was a freshman, he ran all over the place. I think he had 800 yards. He won the Skeezer 100-meter yard dash as a freshman. That's Coray Stafford from Jenkins High School. Can't wait to talk to him. That's going to be pretty special. So that's the lineup for tonight. First, I'm getting into a little local news, local notes. Savannah Christian Preparatory School Lady Raiders. Not one, not two, 3 straight championships, golf championships. This year they took the Class 3A again. They did it last year. The first one was Class A. But, senior Mary Miller edged out teammate junior Ava Cotis in a playoff. The teammates helped them win the state title. The other teammates were Rylan Hurd and sophomore Charlotte Goodman. That's 3 in a row for Annie Baldwin-Keller, another great Savannah Christian Preparatory School Raider golfer way back when Doyle Kelly was a coach. So Lady Raiders, 3-peat. I tried getting them on, but like everything else, golf and everything else. So maybe sometime during the summer we'll get to see those later because I think Mary Mills playing in St. Simon's and she's like in 12th place in some big amateur tournament going on. So we'll get to them. I announced the track winners last year. We had 2 weeks ago, May 16th, we had 8 track gold medalists. Okay, we got one on tonight. I'm excited to talk to them. That's Coray Stafford in the Class 5A 100-meter yard dash. Just released the all-region baseball teams from Class 3A, Region 3. That's Calvary Day School, Savannah Christian, Savannah Country Day. Calvary ran away with all the awards. Coach of the Year, Philip Lee. Region Player of the Year, Will Hampton, going to Vanderbilt. Region Offensive Player of the Year, Caden Arnold, going to play football at Georgia Southern. Co-Region Pitchers of the Year, Ryan Wallace and Quinn Johnson. Ryan Wallace is only a junior. Quinn Johnson is only a sophomore. You got 2/3 of your pitching staff coming back, so the Cavaliers have a good shot at repeating what they did this year, making to the state finals. First team, Calvary Day School, Max Arnold, Waylon Heddick, Brooks Phillips. Savannah Country Day, Tyler Scott, Dalton Brown. Savannah Christian, Brian Hung, Noah Stone, and Dawson Kelly. Second team, Calvary, Brian Lowry, Cutter Powell, Sam Renshaw, Brody Dawson. Savannah Country Day, Ben Kleinpeter, Brooks Kleinpeter, Blaine Burnset, Savannah Christian, and Jaden White, Savannah Christian. In 4A, Landon Ludwig from Benedictine. That's right, Class 4A, Region 3. Landon Ludwig from Benedictine was the player of the year. He was on, okay? Had him as one of my guests. Let's see, Benedictine, Landon Ludwig, Parker McCoy, Omari Burse. All right, keep on going down. Anybody else from Savannah? Yes, Joey Cardillo from Islands High School. Wyatt Oliver from Island High School. And Dylan Gordon from Islands High School. From New Hampstead, Daniel Rico and Briar Miller. Okay, so that's the Class 4A, Region 3, Benedictine Islands, New Hampstead region. Congratulations to all those young men. Like I said, the FCA Savannah is holding their 8th annual Fellowship of Christian Athletes All-Star Game, June 8th. We'll get into that with my guest, Jason Rockwell, in a couple of minutes. FCA Savannah held their 4th annual lacrosse game. They included the girls this year. That's right. We had an all-star with girls lacrosse game. The 14th annual Coastal Soccer All-Star game was held. Let's see. That was the 16th. Yeah, the 16th. And it got halfway through and it got rained out. But Cam Turner's been doing it for 14 years. Windsor Forest High School soccer coach, athletic director. He just does a great job. Savannah Coast Pirates, if you heard the news, they fired their coach at the end of the year. They just hired Jared Stahl. Jared Stahl was an NHL hockey player. He served as an assistant coach for the Charlotte Checkers for the American Hockey League for the past 2 seasons. So now he's going to be the big man on the East Coast Hockey League for the Savannah Ghost Pirates. Tomorrow night, Grayson Stadium. Savannah Bananas are home. The Savannah Bananas lead the World Tour Series after 44 games. They're 26-18. That means the Party Animals are 18-26. But the third team comes into play this weekend, the Firefighters. That's right, the Savannah Bananas against the Firefighters tomorrow night. Sold out all weekend. And I think then the Party Animals play the Firefighters on Friday night, and then the Savannah Bananas take on the Firefighters on Saturday night. Once again, the World Tour is off the charts. I mean, you get to play at Minute Maid Park for the Houston Astros. They're going up to Fenway Park. Just a great deal. And I went to Cooperstown. I can vouch for it. They have their own display. That's right. Savannah Bananas have their own display in the Hall of Fame. Braves, heartbreaker, Ronald Acuna Jr. out, ACL, whole season. So let's see who the Braves get. The Braves are right now at 31-21. They're in second place. They're 6 games behind the Phillies. Still early. Pitching staff is pretty good. They're taking on the Washington Nationals again tonight, who are in third place at 24-29. Rookie Spencer Schwellenbach, is making his major league debut tonight against the Washington Nationals, who the Braves are going to face. Mackenzie Gore, who is 3-4 with a 3.04 ERA. So that's catching you up on local sports. Once again, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week from Jenkins High School, state 100-meter Class 5A champ in Coray Stafford. And then, of course, we're going to talk a little high school baseball, that skit on Saturday Night Live. It's been very, very good to me, and I think it's been very, very good to this young man. So up next, talking about the 8th annual Savannah Metro Fellowship of Christian Athletes All-Star Baseball game will be Jason Rockwell. Stay tuned. I'll be back in about 3.5 minutes. Got to thank those sponsors. And once again, you're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and, of course, it'll be up on YouTube after the show's over right away. So check it out. Be back. Got to play some ball with Jason. Hey, sports fans, looking for the ultimate sports and entertainment destination in Savannah, Georgia? Look no further than Coach's Corner. At Coach's Corner, you'll find everything you need for a great time, including TVs everywhere so you can catch all the latest sporting events, an outdoor seating area, perfect for enjoying a drink or a meal on a warm day, a wide array of drink options from beers to cocktails, a comprehensive sports schedule so you can cheer on your favorite teams year-round, prompt service even when it's crowded, a fun and lively atmosphere perfect for letting loose with your friends, and of course, delicious food, from famous chicken wings, hamburgers, to delectable calzones and pizzas. Coach's Corner menu is sure to satisfy your cravings. In addition to all this, Coach's Corner also features an upgraded sound garden, now with more seats, more bars, and an upgraded sound system. It's the perfect spot for hundreds of fans to gather and enjoy the latest local bands, tribute acts, and rising stars. So what are you waiting for? Join us at Coach's Corner for the ultimate sports, music, and culinary experience. Coach's Corner can't wait to see you soon. Remember, Coach's Corner is located at 3016 Victory Drive, right in Thunderbolt, Georgia, and on the World Wide Web at coaches.net. Remember, Coach's Corner, where every day is game day.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School, we consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. So come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
Yo, you still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style, we are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time, it makes you mad, the pain drives you crazy, you just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, right here on the Soundgarden stage, Victory Drive, Thunderbolt. On the Soundgarden stage, you see the 975-inch TVs behind me. Just got to love it. And, trying to get a little Braves baseball in Savannah, Georgia is really upsetting me because, you know what? We can't watch them on Bally Sports anymore. I don't know if it's usually backed out on my MLB TV account, so I don't know. I'll talk to this next guy about it, but I can't believe this is the 8th year that we have the Fellowship of Christian Athletes All-Star Games. Started out way back out in what was it? Let me get it right. Garden City, Pooler. Okay, and at the Memorial Day School baseball fan, it was a great time, and it's grown to 8 years. They're doing 2 days because they want to get all the kids give some kids a chance to play. This young man don't believe it. Believe me, I believe it. He was a sports reporter on TV. WTOC. Then he went into the professional world, has coached the Coastal Homeschool Hurricanes. I don't know how many years. He's just done a great job, and he believes in what he's doing. He loves the kids. Joining me now on the Coach's Corner hot seat is the man himself, okay? The man himself, the baseball coach, the FCA coordinator, Jason Rockwell. What's up, Jason?
How you doing? Hey, the seat can't be too hot in July, man. You gotta do something to cool off the hot seat.
Oh well, I'm on a hot seat on the stage here, but you know what? I love it. I'm telling you right now. I told you. You just heard me. I went up to New York. My daughter got engaged on Lake Ontario. Then I went to Cooperstown. The weather was beautiful. Nighttime though, 45, 50 degrees. I like my Savannah weather. I really do. And my motto's always been, Jason, because you're another northern guy yourself, I'd rather swat these gnats than shovel snow.
Absolutely. I remember my mom asked me when she was still living, she said, hey, do you ever think you'll come back home? And I said, to live? And she goes, yeah. And I said, not a chance. I shoveled enough snow when I was a kid. I don't want to do that anymore. That's why I'm here.
So, all right. So give people a little background, baseball, you've been down here for a long time. You're on TV. Now you're doing your own little stick with financial consulting. So tell everybody, let them know about Jason Rockwell, because you're not at Grayson Stadium anymore.
Yeah, right. So yeah, it's kind of been a wonderful odyssey of a trip, I guess I could say. As a kid, we all want to play big league ball and be in a professional, clubhouse and be around the game, right, as much as we can. And I played ball in college at University of New Hampshire and hurt my shoulder. And so I knew my playing days were probably not going to happen, but I wanted to be around the game. And like you said, I became a sports broadcaster, started in West Virginia at WBOY TV and moved my way around. And, I ended up here in Savannah, actually co-anchored a news show with my wife, Terry, for a couple of years. And kids came along. It's a tough business when you have a family. So decided to do something else and kind of get into the financial world after a decade or so over at Hargrave Communications as a business sales manager and whatnot. And then this baseball opportunity came along with the Sand Gnats back in 2007. I get a phone call from Andy McGaffigan, who was my financial advisor at the time. He worked for Northwestern Mutual, and I knew that he was a chaplain for the Lakeland Tigers. I didn't know there's a thing called baseball chapel. And he called me in 2007, said they had a need for a chaplain in Savannah. I'm like, okay, what do I do? Next thing I know, 2 weeks later, I'm flying to Chicago for Chaplain 101. And my first chapel with the team was on Easter 2007. So thankfully, that was a lot. There was a lot to talk about. But long story short, God got me in that professional clubhouse, but not in a way that I would ever have dreamed. I was way out of my comfort zone. I've grown closer to him because of it. Tim Tuffle was the manager that year. He was a Christian guy, really took me in under his wing. He's a great friend of mine to this day. And that's how it all kind of started. And, the Sycamore Stadium baseball camp, we've been doing that for 22 years, going back to 2003. So that was my first kind of dip the toe in the water, trying to figure out, what, we can use baseball to tell people about Jesus. And Jesus made a difference in my life, continues to do so to this day. And, so it works. And the FCA opportunity came along after the Sand Gnats moved to Columbia. And here we are. So I was a few years into the FCA thing, and I thought, you know what? There's not an area all-star game for high school baseball. So why don't we start one? Here we are.
Well, that was my first question. Tell us what inspired you to get this all rolling. That's the better way to put it. Just saying, okay, you started 8 years ago. Why'd you start it? What inspired you to do this?
Football obviously is king here, right? And basketball. We have so many good athletes in this area, in the city and the counties that surround us in the state. And baseball doesn't get overlooked, but I don't think it gets quite the focus that football and basketball do. And my son was just about to enter high school at the time, and I had just gotten started with FCA in 2016, I think it was. And I said, you know what? There's a lot of good players. Because you mentioned I was the head coach of the homeschool team for 8 years, starting when he was 10 years old. And long story, we won't go through that story. But, I got to see these players around. As a coach, you see some of these kids, you're like, wow, there's a lot of talent around here. And I thought, what a great way to wrap up a season, whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, it's for anybody in high school, to have this game and have an all-star game to get these kids together where they're not opponents, but they can be on the same team. and form some relationships and some bonds and bring the coaches together and just the overall baseball community together. So that first year we did it at Islands High School. We had a hurricane that year, and there was a sinkhole in right field at Grayson Stadium, so we couldn't hold it there. We actually held it, I think it was in October, just to give it a dry run to see what would happen. And Islands High School was a place that we played it at, and it worked. And then from there we went to Grayson Stadium because, hey, the boys want to get at Grayson Stadium, right, play on that turf. And now we know that stadium's a little bit busy these days. So we branched out last year, kind of an out loud thought in my head. You know what? Why don't we host this at the high schools? Let's give it a shot. And instead of one game, let's do three. Let's have a 3-game series. So that's how that started.
And this year you go into 2 games like you did last year. One game will be at Benedictine. This year, instead of South Effingham, you're moving out to Liberty County. So what are some of the challenges that you face organizing this thing and getting these kids to play and finding the sites? What challenges do you find doing this?
Oh man, it's the biggest challenge is just coordinating the whole thing. I need to lean on the coaches to hey, we need players to commit because they when the season's over, man, they jump and they're off playing travel ball before you know it. So having it on Friday, Saturday, we know we're going to lose some guys who are already committed to playing in Atlanta or wherever. So that's the biggest challenge, just seeing who can commit to those 2 days. It's June 7th this year, 7 o'clock at BC. It'll be a 7-inning game. And then June 8th, Saturday, is going to be a doubleheader. It's 2 5-inning games. Feedback from last year, we did a 9-inning and 2 7s. Man, that second day was a long day and it was hot. So, these are exhibitions, So we went to a 7-inning game at BC on Friday night, 2 5-inning games at Liberty County High School starting at 1 o'clock on that Saturday. And it's wood bat this year. That's feedback from the players.
Nice.
They want to do wood bats. The pitchers, you just want to bust them up. So
right.
that's what we're going to do. And we want to incorporate Liberty County this year because they're this close, to, 15, 20-minute drive from Richmond Hill High School. You have Liberty County, you have Bradwell, and you have FPCA. So, and they've been asking every single year, and I felt terrible saying, you're not in the 3-county area that we serve. So this year we said, you know what, let's incorporate those 3 schools if we can do it. And we're going to have players from all 3 schools this year. I'm pumped up about that.
Nice,
Get more
nice.
kids involved.
Now, I know you and I could talk for hours, so we're getting on a time limit here. So what role does the Fellowship of Christian Athletes play in this whole thing and the execution of this event? How are they helping you out?
Yeah, so FCA is kind of the backbone of the whole thing. We can provide Bibles to the players that don't have one. This is something that we want to do. We want to grow this into something. We don't even know what it's going to look like in the future, but we want to be able to offer scholarships and things like that to a player on each team. And it's for players that are okay. They're good between the lines, but also they're just good people. You're not necessarily going to see the best of the best when it comes to throwing the ball or hitting the ball, but you're going to see some great character guys out there. And this year's game is a more it's taken on a younger feel, which is great. It's a great showcase, I think. We invite college coaches in. We always have coaches that would come in to check them out. But it's a great way for them to get out there and showcase their tools a little bit. And FCA, Billy Graham said one time that a coach has more impact on somebody in 1 year than most people have in a lifetime. Because two of the most powerful words in the English language are coach said. If coach says it, it's almost the gospel, right?
It's almost got it, yeah.
Through and through the coach to get to their players. And, because for us older Christians now, we got to pass that baton to this younger generation. And we just want to feed into these kids and hopefully they appreciate it, give them some good memories. And if it gets them closer to Christ, then, man, that's our job is done.
All right, I got 2 more pitches coming at you. No curveballs. Okay, straight down the pike. Okay, so get that bat ready. So you've been doing this for 8 years, okay, and you just said it, memories. Share any memorable moments that you have of success stories that came from these previous All-Star games.
There was one, there was a kid that I knew well. I coached his brother, Sheldon Polk. You may remember the name. He pitched at Middle Tennessee State, came up through the homeschool team. Amazing pitcher. His brother, Sean, left-handed pitcher. This is the first memory that came to my mind. we're out there at Grayson Stadium, and it was the COVID year. It was I think it was the first event at Grayson since the lockdowns and all that other crazy stuff, right? So we're out there, and Sean's in the bullpen. He's left-handed pitcher. And I didn't have a chance to see him throw that year, but I saw his stats, and I'm like, okay, he did pretty well. So he's going down there to warm up, and I can't remember who the head coach was that year, but I was helping him, and I'm like, hey, my boy Sean's going to get you out of this jam. He's good to go. He's like, all right, he better rock, or else I'm gonna come after you. I'm like, hey, don't worry about it. Sean's warming up, and I'm looking down to the bullpen, and I see this ball has an arc on it, and I go down there. I'm like, hey, Sean, man, I said, really, ramp it up, man. You're going in. He goes, Coach, I'm throwing as hard as I can. He said, my arm's shot. He had shoulder issues that I didn't know about and a back issue. And he was just throwing slop up to the plate all year, and guys couldn't hit it. I'm like, oh, boy. I didn't tell the coach. Sean goes into the game. He strikes out 2 of the 3 batters that he faced. That's the last time he ever was on the mound during a high school baseball game. He was a senior that year. What a great memory for that kid. It was fantastic. So that has to be my all-time number one memory of all these games, the last seven years that we've played them. So it was just fantastic.
You got to love the internets, Jason.
There you are.
We're back, okay? And I apologize to everybody, but, we're using the internet, so it just cut out on me. But we're back. All right. So we were talking about most memorable moments when you got cut off. You mentioned Polk. Go from there again.
Yeah, it was a Sean Polk. He went in there. He's warming up the bullpen. He had an arc on the baseball, and I went down and said, hey, man, you got to ramp it up because you're going in. And he told me, Coach, this is all I got. He had a shoulder issue and a back issue that year, and I didn't know that. He was gutting it out, and he was throwing slop up to the plate because that's all he could do. He didn't have the fastball that he used to have. So he comes into the game, and I'm praying like, oh, boy, here we go. And he gets in there. He struck out 2 of the 3 batters that he faced that night because they were out in front. The other guy rolled over and grounded out to shortstop. But it was the last high school game that he ever pitched in, and it was at Grayson Stadium in the All-Star game. And he struck out the last batter he ever faced. And Sean just got married. And it's wonderful. We still talk about that game to this day. And without the All-Star game and having those games out there, that would be a memory that he would never have. And it's one that he and I will have forever.
All right. Last one. What do you hope, and what does the FCA, Savannah Metro FCA, hope that the players and the community and the coaches get out of this game this year? Friday night, the 7th at Benedictine, Saturday at Liberty County High School. So what do you hope they get out of this?
Well, first of all, they can head to savfca.org. We're going to have a link up there coming up in a couple of days where they can get some tickets. You can get a weekend pass or one-day pass, whatever you want to do. But, we love to have the community support FCA and believe in what we do and why we do it. It's not a free thing that we put on. The kids get jerseys. I've done a poor job of going out to get sponsorships this year because of my other work duties. Just not having the time to do so. So I'm looking to get personally some more focus in on that and get some business partnerships rolling out there where we can have some sponsors. Like I said, I would love to be able to have a scholarship given away for a player on each team every year that we do this thing. And more than anything, Carl, we just want to see these guys, these young men, they're getting their start in life. We want to look forward to the time when these guys are feeding into their community and seeding into their community and being leaders in their churches and good husbands and good dads and great dads, great husbands. It's difficult. It's tough. But, if they can learn to lean in on Jesus, he's going to make things a little bit better for you. Certainly not worse, in my opinion. So, we just want to show the community what FCA is about. We're real, and what you see is what you get.
Hey, you got people watching, okay? Coach David Kelly. Good evening,
there
Coach.
He is.
And Jason, how's it going? And he wants you to try for this next year. I don't know how you're going to find time to do this, but we need a softball FCA All-Star this year.
He's absolutely right, and that's something we've been talking about. David, we need to chat.
Hey, there's your help right there, buddy.
That's right. It's his idea. Go ahead.
But anyway, Jason, you've been doing a great job with not just the FCA Sycamore at the park, kids going to free baseball camp in the month of November. Just keep it up. I love talking to you. And once again, it's always a lot of fun. And I will see you there June 7th at Benedictine. I'll make sure I stop by.
There you go. Hey, thank you for your support. You've always been supportive of whatever we do here. We appreciate you.
Hey, it's for the kids. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
That's right. That's right.
And here's the saying I live by, 42 years coaching and 37 teaching. To coach is to teach, as to teach is to coach. And you can never forget that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done.
Hey, play ball.
Let's go.
I'll talk to you later. Thanks,
Thank
Jason.
you. All right, we'll see you.
You got it. I mean, you talk about a guy who loves baseball, who loves the kids, loves preaching the word of the Lord. I mean, he took a mission trip to, I got to say this, Cuba, not Cuba. I can never get it right. So whatever. But he believes in the game, and he believes teaching life's lessons through the games. And, of course, through the Bible, he does a great job. So 2 nights, June 7th at Benedictine, and then that'll be a 7-inning game. And then Saturday, June 8th, will be a doubleheader at Liberty County High School. Go to FCA Savannah Metro, find out all the information. It's coming up pretty soon. All right, this young gentleman's been waiting. He's been here before the show even started. I mean, what can I say? He's a state champion in the 100-meter yard run in Class 5A, third biggest classification in the state. He ran a 10.63 in the preliminaries. He ran. You see, Coray, I didn't even get tongue-tied. He ran at 10.51. Unbelievable. And he came back and he won the championship. I can't wait to talk to him. And a special guest is going to join us, his coach, James Roberts from HV Jenkins High School. I'm looking forward to it. Stay tuned because you're going to talk to this week's Wetherington or listen. You could also make a comment, like I just said. Former football player of mine checks in. James Shellman now plays at Middle Tennessee State, quarterback, defensive back for Islands High School, played basketball for me. Check it in. Hey, James. How's it going? You know, he says, where's it? Still calls me Big Dog. I see. I can't find it, but if I can find it, I'll show you. But anyway, send in a comment. You got a comment you want to make? Send the comment in, and we can ask Coray or Coach Roberts about it. So stay tuned. 3.5 minutes. We'll be back. Got to thank my sponsors. Next up, the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete Week from HV Jenkins High School Junior. State champion in 100-meter, Coray Stafford. I'll be right back. 3.5 minutes, James. And Coray, I promise you.
Hey, sports fans, looking for the ultimate sports and entertainment destination in Savannah, Georgia? Look no further than Coach's Corner. At Coach's Corner, you'll find everything you need for a great time, including TVs everywhere so you can catch all the latest sporting events, an outdoor seating area, perfect for enjoying a drink or a meal on a warm day, a wide array of drink options from beers to cocktails, a comprehensive sports schedule so you can cheer on your favorite teams year-round, prompt service even when it's crowded, a fun and lively atmosphere perfect for letting loose with your friends, and of course, delicious food, from famous chicken wings, hamburgers, to delectable calzones and pizzas. Coach's Corner menu is sure to satisfy your cravings. In addition to all this, Coach's Corner also features an upgraded sound garden, now with more seats, more bars, and an upgraded sound system. It's the perfect spot for hundreds of fans to gather and enjoy the latest local bands, tribute acts, and rising stars. So what are you waiting for? Join us at Coach's Corner for the ultimate sports, music, and culinary experience. Coach's Corner can't wait to see you soon. Remember, Coach's Corner is located at 3016 Victory Drive, right in Thunderbolt, Georgia, and on the World Wide Web at coaches.net. Remember, Coach's Corner, where every day is game day.
At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School would consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, it comes in uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
Yo, you still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back to the Karl DeMasi, live on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, right here on the Soundgarden stage. Wednesday night, May 29th. We just passed Memorial Day. Thank you to all the servicemen and servicewomen who did not make it back. They gave the ultimate for our freedom. I support it every year. Both my father and my father were military. They both made it back home. My father made it back home with 2 Purple Hearts. I don't know how he did that, but that's another story. But anyway, we're at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete Week. This young man, HV Jenkins, only a junior, was the Georgia High School State Association Class 5A 100-meter champion in a time of 10.63. He finished 7th in the 200 meters, but we know his strong point is the 100 meters. The 2 guys that he raced, he previously finished in the sectionals 3rd place behind them, okay? But, he went to work. He won it. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. So, and of course, his coach is going to be joining us, and that's Jason Robertson. This is what he had to say. Corey's a good kid, that he wants to be the best. As long as he keeps putting in the work and keeps surrounding himself around the right people, the sky's the limit because of his talents. And that's Coach James Roberts, who's joining us. So now joining us on the Coach's Corner hot seat, not one, but 2 guests. The 100-meter state champion from HV Jenkins High School, Coray Stafford, and his coach, James Roberts. All right, there's 1. There's 2. I don't want my picture now. Let's get another look out here. There we go. All 3 of us are on. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, it's great having you on, and this is what it's all about, celebrating the good kids, the kids that have done something special. And, Coray winning that 100-yard meter race after you finished 3rd in the sectionals. But little do people know, I did a lot of research. When I saw the name, I said, the last name sounds familiar. So I did my research. Freshman at Bethesda, he won the 100-meter as a freshman in Skeeza. I think it was like 11.6. So he's taken almost a second off the time in his 100-meter yard dash. I mean, it's unbelievable. He ran a 10.5 in the preliminaries. Just a great job. So once again, Coray, congratulations on winning the 100-meter championship. Describe what was going through your mind as you crossed that finish line saying, hey, I just beat these guys that thought they had it in the bag.
When the race began, I was in front. I was in front the whole race, and then when I crossed the line, I looked up at my time and I was just excited, because I seen my time and I was in 1st place, and I knew I won.
Now, I didn't throw this in the questions, but compare that to your freshman year. How much bigger is winning this race?
Well, it's a lot bigger because, my freshman year, I wasn't really as focused as I am now, and I was much younger, but now I'm a lot older and more mature, and just more focused. I'm just more focused on the track.
Nice. And Coach Roberts, you're on the sidelines watching this. Tell us about your track star here. What were you feeling in that race?
All I kept preaching to him was, because we work on starts a lot, so I don't think nobody will beat our kids out the blocks. But Coray always is in the front, and he has a habit of the last 5 meters just letting off the gas because he just feels he wins the race. So I was standing at finish line in the bleachers, and I just was like, make sure you finish through the line, because I knew he was gonna be in the front, but just finishing. It's like we couldn't lose at the state track meet. So.
Oh, I agree 100%. I'm not a track guy, even though I did coach track and field, but coaching high school football and working on the kids with their stance and their start and running through the line is the biggest thing when you're running a 40-yard dash or a 100-yard dash, and the kids got to know that. And, so, I mean, Coray, pretty special. Did you make any adjustments leading up to this race, even though you had an unbelievable preliminary running 10.51?
Yes, sir. I did. So I think when I came back from sectionals, or whatever, and I was doing block starts at practice, and then Coach James came to me. He was like, "Curry, you lifting up too high," and he like tried not lifting up as high. So I guess I just fixed that, and it just got better from there.
Oh man, it did get better from there. Once again, the internet is giving us fits, people. So if you're joining us live, Coach Roberts, I hope can make it back, but something happened with his internet. Like I lost with my last guest, but I got it to come back. So hopefully he'll be back on. All right. Mm-hmm. So in the sectionals, you finished third behind Gabriel Daniels. I don't know which one was Statesboro, and Corey Budget. Where was he from? He was. And who was Daniels from? Great Atlantic Christian. Yeah, Great Atlantic Christian. How did you use that? How did you use that experience to motivate you? You know, you finished third in the sectionals. Here you come back to the States. These guys probably don't think you have a chance. How did you use that to get you better, to challenge you to be better?
So at the sectionals, I just like came back to practice with a really focused mindset and was just like ready. So and then basically from there, I just because I was not finna lose again. I did not like that taste in my mouth when I came in third place. So I just went back to practice with a way better mindset, focus, practice harder than ever so I could get where I'm at today.
And there he is. Coach Roberts, you made it back. The internet really
something went out with my internet. I'm sorry.
I just asked Coray when he came back from the sectionals where he finished third to make adjustments. What did you work on with Coray that, he comes into the finals and he wins? What did he correct and what did he work on?
Fixing the start. I'm always looking at, once you're already fast, like what else we can fix and work on. So we was at practice one day and he was kind of raised up a little higher, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, we need to tweak this. So we tweaked it, put him in the right spot. He bought into the conditioning, the 200s and the 400s that he hated running on conditioning days. And I told Coray, I said, you already got speed, but now you have to buy into the full work ethic of being a true athlete. And so that 2 weeks that we had out before with a little break gave us a lot of time to fix small things and get better at.
Nice. Now, you win with a time of 10.63. In the preliminaries, you ran a 10.51. Okay. How did that performance compare to you? Help you? What were your expectations going into the finals when you just ran a 10.51? What was going through your mind?
I was excited for both times, but I knew that I could do better on that 10.6. I knew I could do way much better on that 10.6. Yeah,
it got you some bling though, right? Got you a gold medal, and hopefully someone will take care of you and give you a ring there. Coach,
yes,
we're working on that.
How did you keep them level-headed? I mean, a 10.5 in high school is pretty special. And like you said, we talked earlier, you're hoping, I have nothing to do with this, you're hoping they can get it to about 10.2, 10.3. So, what was your expectations going into that with that score? Did I lose you, Coach?
Oh, yes. My expectations, when he ran the 10.51, I was a lot more happy because he had already ran a 10.68 before. So when I saw the 10.51, I was like, to me, he still kind of let up cross the line because he had a huge lead. I say that was really a 10.45 just finishing cross. So that Saturday, I thought we was going to go back faster, but, it's tough running all of the events he had the day before. It was twice as hot out there on Saturday. So nobody in the whole track meet ran the same times they did on that Friday. But I still was so happy, and knowing that he still had a lot left in the tank, it's a lot of work we're gonna do on this off season, getting started to reach those goals.
All right, Coray, you had a remarkable season. Okay, which victory was the most challenging? Not the most memorable, but the most challenging for you, and why?
I'm gonna say my Effingham meet, and this is why. Because I think I was in lane one. It was kind of windy, which like would make it hard for me to like run. And then at that time, I think I had the slowest time in my heat at that time, so that was kind of challenging. But I had pushed through it and won.
Nice. If you're just tuning in, you're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live. I'm talking to the Georgia High School State Association Class 5A 100-meter yard champ from Jenkins High School. Only a junior, Coray Stafford, and his coach, James Roberts. So, Coach, for you, what was his most memorable challenge, race that was a challenge for him? Do you agree with the Effingham race?
Yes, the Effingham race. Because I usually go ahead and tell them when we get out there, we go ahead and get familiar with the track. If we don't bring our blocks, we kind of warm up in the blocks we go use. And that day they was kind of just walking around, and I was like, all right, we need to get those warm-ups in. So we like to film everything. So I was down at the finish line because I like to see how they finish. I want to see the effort that they finish with. So I'm standing there and I'm looking and I'm like, is this Coray I see like not in first? So I was like, is this a joke? Like, I thought somebody was playing a game. And then when I talked to him, he said, they kind of rushed, didn't let him get a jog out, got in the blocks, wasn't fully set. So when the gun went off, he was in the back, and he was disappointed, and I was disappointed. But that was a learning lesson, just even if I'm not down there, to make sure we're doing our warm-ups and doing everything, and just, a growing lesson that I'm quite sure never happened again.
So, all right. Now, Coray, Coach, you ran against the same two guys, sectionals. Statesboro was in your area. Great Atlanta Christian comes down. Corey Budget and Gabriel Daniels. How did racing against these two guys throughout the season help you improve your performances there, Coray?
Okay, so actually I just started racing against Gabriel towards like the end of the year. But me and Corey been going at it like all year. Like he might win a race, I might come back next week and beat him. So we just been going like at it, and then but I knew how both of them run because I like watched them run. Like after I run, I might watch the person after me run. So I knew how they run. So I went back to practice, did what I had to do, and just straighten up a couple things, and did what I had to do to secure the state championship.
Nice. So, Coach, here you got three outstanding runners. Okay, they're all in about the same area. How does that help your athletes? Do you like when they run against these types of athletes instead of just blowing the field away all the time?
I do. But I'm a lot more nervous as well, because if you come out the blocks late and you all are fast, that's the difference in a race. So just making sure, they let those nerves calm down, don't false start because they thinking, I got to beat this person. So that's what we go over a lot at practice, like calling the count. And I'd be like, you jumped, like false start. And they'd be like, no, you took too long to call it. I said, I don't care how long it took to call it. We can't get there and false start because that's not cool. So
right.
I'm always nervous. They'll tell you until they race, I'm always nervous with my sprinters. But I trust them. But it's just like a little kid, always nervous until they finish. Mm-hmm. But I like when he goes against competition because it just pushes him a lot more to keep fighting through the race.
Nice. All right, Coray, he's sitting right there now listening. I know your other coach is leaving to go to South Effingham. But how has your coaches helped you succeed this year? What challenges did they give you to get to the top of that podium to be a state champion?
Well, Coach James, he stayed on me all year. Like Coach James, he'll have me doing like stuff I wasn't comfortable with at first. Like he had me doing 400s at practice, just doing a lot of conditioning work so I could build up my stamina and finish stronger. And like at first I didn't understand like what was the reason. I'm just thinking he just doing it. But now that now that I'm like where I'm at today, I get why he had me doing all that stuff.
All right, so there's a lot of people watching. We got some comments here, no questions, but Demetrius Holloway there for you, Coray. Yo, that's my teammate. And then I don't know who.
Oh,
I don't know who.
3 hard bounds.
He says, "What's 3 hard? What's 3 hard bounds?"
Tell him, Coray.
Oh, so 3 hard bounds. It's this thing Coach James always tell us. It's like when we come out the blocks, it's 3 hard bounds, and then the 7 drive steps. And then, well, that's what he taught me. And then I'm really high. I don't know.
And then you have Tucci. Yes, sir, cuz. I guess you got a cousin watching?
I guess. I don't know.
Then we got another 3 hard bounds by HYP Larson. All right, and then I guess a lot of people are checking in because James Mobley congratulates Coray, keep grinding. So there's people you checking you out right here on the internet show. So they're following what you're doing. So let me put that away. All right, next question. All right, for Coray, and then Coach, you could jump in. How has your training regime evolved over the last few years? Like I said, you won the 100 meters as a freshman in Skeeza. Now you transferred over to Jenkins, so you couldn't get into the track meet, but now as a junior, you're a champion. How has your training regime changed over the last 3 years?
Well, at that time, I was a lot younger, and I was like less focused on track and field. But ever since I transferred to Jenkins, my coach has been pushing me more, especially Coach James. He's been pushing me, had me doing stuff I wasn't comfortable with, and basically that's really it. And Coach James, he had showed me like the ways, how to do stuff, how to run, and stuff like that for me to be where I'm at today.
Well, Coach, you get a young talent like this that can fly. How much did you have to change his whole training practice, his whole regime of being a better runner?
When he first came, I was like, show me, I was like, what's your power leg? Show me how you get in the blocks. And he was like, almost like I was talking in science. And I was like, how did you run these times? And you kind of clueless on the block. So he was just really running off talent. So it was really like just breaking him down, like showing him some stuff. And I was like, if this kid was already running this fast without the different guidance I'm about to show him, I was like, the sky's going to be the limit. So we went over that. We fixed that when he first got over there. And then we just started fixing things, breaking bad habits, and just going from there. And then just at first he used to be like, Coach, I only run the 100. And I was like, Coray, don't work like that. I was like, top 100 runners run the 200 as well. And he was like, but Coach, I don't like the 2. I say, Coray, you either go run the 200 or you're not going to run the 100. So that's what your ultimatum. So he didn't like it at first, but it helped him at the end. And then now he liked all of it. So at the final track meet, he was like, Coach, he said, I understand why I ran those things. And he said, I want to do conditioning now. I was like, almost wanted to touch his head to make sure he wasn't sick when he was saying that. But that's a good thing in growth. When you see kids want to do it and a coach doesn't have to make them do it. So that was a true testament of watching him mature. So that was very special.
All right, I got 2 questions left for you, Coray. The first one is, you got to thank your family. What role has your family played in your track and field career or your high school career? How have they been involved in your training and your competitions and your success?
So my family has been supportive since I was like 5, playing little league sports and stuff. And it's like when I look up in the stands and see my family cheering me on, it give me an extra little push, make me want to it's like now I gotta win now that my family watching. So that's how it is. And then my mom, she stays on me about grades. She always tell me grades first, and she always tell me like don't never half step nothing, like just everything you do that 100%.
Your grades, your God-given talent's going to get you looks, but your grades are going to get you in the door, as Coach has probably preached to you over and over again. And your mama and your family is always right.
Yes, sir.
Student athlete. That's why the student goes first.
Exactly.
All right.
Yes.
So looking ahead to your senior year, what goals do you have for yourself in track and field, football, and how do you plan on achieving them?
Well, I'm going to start by saying, of course, I want to be even faster next year than I was this year, and hopefully get a full ride scholarship for football or track, or even both. And then probably like next year, I probably want to, for the 100 meter, I probably want to beat a 10.3 or better. And then for the 200,
Nice.
I want to at least beat 21 seconds or better.
Coach, how do you see his future, Coach?
I'm all for it, because just like when we got down with our coaching staff, with all of the stuff we put into with our athletes, and just like with Coray, we got several more athletes that's at HVJ that the world will be seeing just in all the sports, with football and basketball, track, baseball. But now that they see Coray one state, like, it just lets the kids know, like, he came right from Jenkins and he did it. So it's like now getting them all just to come in more focused. So I think what Coray did this year, now he's going to come in next year a lot more focused. And just like I told him, now to get to the top schools, without a doubt, you running a 10-2 or lower, and in the 20s, you can go to any college you want to go to. So that's what we're aiming for track next year for him.
Well, we have another comment that just came in here. Anthony Singleton, congratulations, nephew. Congrats, nephew.
Yes, it is. My auntie.
Hey, she's checking in on you there, buddy. So, but anyway, Coray, I remember you from Bethesda as a freshman, how you were all over the place with football, and then, of course, the state championship. Of course, you made that transfer over. You had to wait to get your eligibility. But, hey, great job. Congratulations. That's why you're this week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete. And I'm going to say it right here. I want you again showing me the second bling you're going to get next year. You know that, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Gordon.
Appreciate it. Great job.
Oh, yeah.
Coach.
Yeah, but
Coach,
most definitely.
Coach is going to get him.
He'll be back next year. He'll be back next year, and I want one on my finger, too.
All right. I appreciate you guys coming on. Great job. And once again, go Warriors.
Yes, sir.
Go Warriors, HVJ.
Go Warriors.
You got it. Great job, Coray. Great job, Coach. Appreciate the help.
Thank you.
And once again, both, they build winners over there on Duran. I don't remember the exact saying, but I mean, they got so much talent there, and they moved down next year to Class 3A. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see how Jenkins does against everybody else. And we have another Anthony Singleton jumping in here saying, "Be proud of yourself," because I am already. So once again, a lot of people checking in on Coray Stafford, and hopefully he'll have a great year. And Coach, keep it up over there at Jenkins. There's a lot of talent, and they need good leadership and good guidance. And you're doing a good job. And like you said, stick to your guns. You're going to do it our way, or you're not going to do it at all. So I like that. You either run the 200 and 400, you're not running it at all. So Coray bought into it, got himself a gold medal. Well, that's it for tonight. I'm at almost an hour long, and I do apologize for the internet glitches. Of course, my guest, Jason Rockwell from Savannah FCA Metro chapter. They have their all-star baseball games June 7th at Benedictine, 7-inning game. Then they come back on Saturday, June 8th, and they play a doubleheader at Liberty County. So that's pretty cool. And, of course, I got to thank Coray Stafford talking about his championship medal up there at the Georgia High School State Association Class 5A 100-meter-yard run. And, of course, Coach Roberts helped me getting the young man on here. And, the kid did a great job because he was coached well by his coach. So I'm pretty excited about that. We'll be back next week. Don't forget, though, you got to help me out. June 8th, How to Run Specialty Store. 5K, 10K walk run to help benefit the cure childhood cancer. Like I said, the reason why I did this is because former HV Jenkins head coach Tim Adams started the Coaches for Curing Cancer Fund, raising money to help childhood cancer, and it was going to cure. And I said, well, you know what? These are kids I'm probably never going to coach. If I can do something to raise money to help these kids get out there, it's well worth it. But I got to thank, of course, Mark Cameron from How to Run Specialty Store with the Pam and Philip Howe, who own the store, who are big avid runners, for letting me do it there. They do a great job. And, of course, I call them the race guru, the godfather of race setup, and that's Dan Pavlin with Endurance Races. He do a good job too. So please check it out. Coaches for Curing Cancer, 5K, 10K run. I don't know if I can get it up here. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can add a clip here so you can see what I'm talking about. Going through my charts here. Okay, it's coming up. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's see if I can do it this way. Okay, well, let me take myself away. If you could help us out. Last year, we raised a good chunk of money last year, close to $5,000. But, this year's been kind of slow, and I've been, a lot of things going on. So please go out there and help us out. Once again, Savannah Sandnets are long gone. We have the Savannah Bananas that have owned Grayson Stadium since the Sandnets left. They just put people in the seats game after game after game. We got the new kids in town tomorrow, the debut of the Firefighters. So once again, Jesse Cole, Emily Cole, Jared Orton, Biko Scalo, Josh Trevetsky, Mark the Shark Edis, doing a great job over there. Another way to help put people in the stands, making baseball fun for a lot of people. So check it out. Can't wait to see what happens tomorrow night at Grayson Stadium. Once again, it's sold out. So if you want to watch it on YouTube, check it out on YouTube. Well, that's it. Made it for an hour. Time to get out of here. Like I say every week, please say a prayer for what's going on in this crazy world. And hopefully I took your mind off it for a little while, whether it was for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That's what it's all about. I'll be back on next Wednesday night right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. So whatever you're doing today, tomorrow, always hit it in the park. Excuse me. Until I see you next week, talk to you next week, may it be your best weekend. God bless. Peace out. I'm out of here. Go Firefighters.